Hello, welcome back to Dawes Gaming, and today I'm talking to you about a very specific topic. But before we get into that, make sure to subscribe to the channel. It's free. Okay, so the topic for today is none other than there will be no Zelda game for the launch of the next console. Today I'll be explaining my reasonings and telling you why there won't be. Okay, so there are two development groups that make these Zelda games. The first, EPD3, their most recent project, is The Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom. This game was super ambitious. It had a roughly 6-year development cycle, but it would have been less if they didn't spend a full year of it making Skyward Sword HD. So it would be 5 years if they don't make another remake. So their next game would be in 2028. So I don't really think there is a chance that they can make a new game. Unless it's a remake, but they want to show how new the console is, so remaking old games that people might already have is just going to be kind of lame for the first year of a new console. So the only possibility for that would be if they remade it for Switch 1, and then it also came to Switch 2 through a cross-release, which is theoretically possible, but also they just finished Tears of the Kingdom, and they might not even be ready to release a new HD game. So that's one of the developers that can't do anything right now. But their other developer, Grezzo, is not really working on these games either. They work on mainly the 2D games. These 2D games are much smaller in scope, so they're not going to be as big of a deal. So they really just make the 2D games. They made over the past console, they've made Link's Awakening in 2018. They made 2 arcade games, then they made a phone game, and then they made Echoes of Wisdom for the Switch in 2024. But that's the problem. Their latest game was in 2024. So the only possibility is if they had a second project that they were just hiding. But personally, I don't see a 2D platformer as a console seller. So I don't really think that another game like Echoes of Wisdom would be a year one game for the brand new console. So the final opportunity is a third developer, but I don't really think that's the case. This is Zelda, one of their most important series. They don't want to risk handing it over to someone that they have no clue if they will be able to complete it. So, The Legend of Zelda is one of their closest series. So, that's the main problem. They can't just hand it over to anyone, which means they're probably going to have to make a very small game related to a Zelda game first. So, that's the important reason of why there won't be a Zelda game. But another important thing is that what will be in the next Zelda game, if I could even predict that, well, there's 2 possible games. It could be a Grezzo game, or it could be a remake, or it could be an EPD3 game. Let's start with Grezzo. If Grezzo makes a new game, it'll probably continue the Echoes of Wisdom style, giving Zelda the spotlight again. And honestly, I had a lot of fun with this game. But my main complaint is I 100% of the game in just 30 hours. The game needs to have more replayability, so that's why I didn't like it as much as some other games this year. But I really think if they make it 50 hours in the next game, it will be one of those must-buy games with just how much content, raw content, is physically present within that game. And I really hope that they just juice that game up so much. Maybe even add a multiplayer side mode that has infinite replayability. That's some of my favorite types of experiences, a multiplayer side mode. because you can literally just keep on going in a multiplayer mode, or maybe like you race your friend to do something. Like the possibilities are kind of endless of what you could add in a multiplayer mode. So I really think that they can, and hopefully they will, because that would make the next Echoes of Wisdom-esque game one of the best on the new console. Okay, now if they made a remake, which ones would they make? Probably some Wii U Zelda games, so they could do a couple. I'm not really going to pick which one. I'm just saying one of the two Zelda games on Wii U. And now let's move on to a new EPD3 game. So basically EPD3, they're not going to release a new game until 2028, and the Grezzo, if they actually follow the same development cycle, they won't release one until 2030. So they just got lucky that both those games came back to back. But there's not really going to be a new Zelda game for a while, which is why I think a remake is so likely. So if they are going to end up doing it, what would be the thing that they do? Well, I really hope that they don't take away the Tears of the Kingdom and Hyrule area. Like, I really liked the Hyrule area in Tears of the Kingdom and Breath of the Wild. So I really think that if they manage to allow their next game to continuously just be as big, as expansive as games like Tears of the Kingdom, like Tears of the Kingdom, like when you're comparing Tears of the Kingdom to Echoes of Wisdom, the problem is Echoes of Wisdom's a good game, but Tears of the Kingdom is just that much better. It took me like 200 hours, no, like 300 hours to 100% the entirety of Tears of the Kingdom. But when I did it for Echoes, it only took me like 30 hours, and like that's what concerns me. There needs to be more content, and you can run around the entirety of the map in like 10 minutes. But thank you for watching today's video. Make sure to leave a like, subscribe, and comment. I will see you on the next one.